All right, we'll see you. Bye. Hey, welcome to Wolfsburg West. Here's a will call. This is where you pick your orders up, if you call them in, if you place them on the internet, or if you have a list and you know what you want. So this is our packing area. Our packing peanuts, the big truck comes in, runs the peanuts through the big hose, blows them in. It takes about an hour and a half to do that. So come and take a look at the parts we have. When we pull your order, everything is by bin location. For example, G2, G1. This is the second shelf, G, all the way up from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we work 1, 2, 3, 4 across here. We used to use, well, we still use Volkswagen part numbers. Everything used to be in numerological order, but then as we'd add new parts, stuff wouldn't have room to fit on the shelves. Too many mistakes were happening because you'd pull the part right next to it instead of the one you wanted. So we've gone to bin location, which is often we make battleship jokes, you know, G2, F5, oh, miss. But for the most part, all of our shocks and front end parts are in the same area. Exhaust and gasoline kind of in the same area. So we're in the 1 to 200 main group, and then as we work our way to the right, we grow into the 4, 5, 6, 700, 800, which would mean bumpers, body, and electrical. So some orders are larger and require more space, so we'll do larger international orders here. This one belongs to a company in the United Kingdom. All right, so here's our offices, here's the lobby. Over here is where people will sit to take the orders. There's an employee now. We'll come back to this room later. And we have Jamie here. And then the lovely Miss Carla, the woman who signs our checks and greets us every morning and waves goodbye at night.
Yeah.
This is our personal workshop, actually. We don't work on customer cars, but we certainly work on our cars. You can see parts such as the across the heads that we assemble in here. We're welding some seat tracks. We got some tools in here, our solvent tank, battery charger, or toolbox. But over here is where all the real fun happens. We get the girls cutting rubbers and assembling kits, sewing carpet, making battery cables, putting running boards together. We do carpet back here. So we make cocoa mats here. It's one of the things you just saw. So they'll just sit up here. We got rows and rows and rows of them, all ready to go, stuff pre-made, sitting on the shelf. More cocoa mats, all ready for quick delivery. So we make bumpers for early Beetles. Here's a front bumper for 67 and earlier Beetle. What makes these bumpers exceptional is there's no black gasket that the aftermarket ones would have. The quality of the chrome, of course, and the shape of the bumper guard all make this virtually impossible to tell from a real one. Well, then they get put in these beautiful black bags before they ship in a double thick cardboard box. So we try to ensure that for the money you're spending on these bumpers that you're going to get packaging and the part's going to arrive ready to install.
How many parts do you think are in here?
That's a question for Sean, but I hear like 5,000 to 6,000. I've never counted. This is a 56 single cab. We've had it for probably 10 years. It came from our friend in Germany, Uzo von Schmeling, and it's been through literally the whole Southern California family. I love this truck because one of my only regrets in life is selling my 58 single cab for $2,500 way back when. So this single cab is beautiful. It's got one of our LaCrosse style dual port engines in it. This was actually the test engine that Tony built before we actually produced everything. We got all our facts off of this. The next bus is another one of my favorites. This is a 62 panel. It's had one respray, one paint job. It had about 70,000 miles on it when Tony bought it. And we drive this car. This is what we take to car shows. This is what we load all of our product in. This is a great example of originality, from the interior to the door panels to the primer on the inside. We did put a 40 horse big bore in it. So another great car of ours. Blue one hasn't hit the road for a long time. This was Tony's grandfather's car. This bus is called Lumpy, and this belongs to Sean, who is Tony's right-hand man. It came back from paint from Larry at Deutschland Metal Works, and Sean is slowly working on putting this back together. It's a 1967 SO42, and it will certainly be a user as well. This bus belongs to Carla, who we just saw. It belongs to her sister's husband named Jimmy. He used to work here. So it is now in our hands, and we've slowly been putting it back together and getting it running. A lot of these cars here we will use to fit the parts. We'll make the prototype, we'll get it, and we'll check it against the car, make sure it's nice, or take parts off of these cars that are original. Make them, put them on. Anyway, test fit them before we actually produce thousands of them.